Days of Our Lives may sweep stunned Salem, John Black death and Sarah heartbroken. Days of Our Lives spoilers Wednesday, April 30th EJ's stunning footage, Paulina slams Johnny, Kayla begs Dr. Russell. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives sees May reaches are then. And there's desolation coming to Salem as John Black's death is verified. And we've also got Sarah Horton set for Heartache among other big action coming in Reaches. Let's look ahead together at what we're hoping to see in the 15 occurrences left in May Reaches and what action's going down on Days. Bo Brady's phenomenon cure. Days of Our Lives may sweep spoilers. So, first out, let's talk about Bo Brady. He needs a phenomenon right now relatively desperately and he's going to get it. After Sean Brady shot him, Bo fell into a coma where he has been for 2 times. In fact, last week was the unfortunate anniversary of when Sean shot his pater, April 24, 2023. And now Bo is dying of sepsis because he got an infection from his ventilator and it's killing him. But Kayla Brady and Mary Beth Evans got a Joe on staff, Dr. Russell, doing exploration into an amazing new sepsis medicine. So Kayla's going to talk to Dr. Russell, but he has to refuse because he fairly can't let her have the medicine. Indeed though Bo is dying, indeed though he wants to be compassionate. It's not in mortal trials as she told Marlena Evans and Steve Johnson. Days of Our Lives hometown homecoming. So Sean went and let it go and he's going to pitch to Steve that they do some crime and they steal that cure for his pater. And sounds like a plan. Once they get the serum for Bo, the shock of the infection and the infusion of this experimental drug should be what pulls him out of his coma. Fancy face Hope Brady and her hubby Bo enjoy a big homecoming to Salem soon, conceivably before the end of Reaches. We've heard they're coming in May at the veritably rearmost, early June. Johnny DiMera's daddy issues and relinquishment drama on Days. Next, let's talk about Johnny DiMera and his daddy issues. After chancing out what EJ DiMera did to Sammy Brady, we're seeing Johnny having an extremity of heart about brewing motherhood. He's got double deep daddy issues, actually issues with his own daddy EJ and now issues with the idea of being a daddy himself to Tate Black and Sophia Choi's baby that he and Chanel Dupree were planning to borrow. Days of Our Lives sweeps swings and turning points. Johnny just feels dirty outside because of his rape origins, but May Reaches could be a turning point for him. First one and also back the other. After breaking Chanel's heart by saying he just can't do this relinquishment thing, Johnny going to find himself at the Salem and each alone in a room. And Tate finds Johnny there. And also Tate punches him in the face. He's furious at Johnny for pulling this move and cheating him and Sophia whose counsel expedience and everything were hanging on this. So perhaps it takes Tate remonstrating his butt and it knocks some sense into Johnny. I do anticipate we're going to see him yield during May Reaches and apologize to Chanel and agree to the relinquishment. Who shot EJ DiMera? Rachel Black and Kristen's confession revealed. Alright, our third big plot for May we want to talk about is who shot EJ. Well, it could be that the shooter is revealed but doesn't go to captivity, but the shooter's mama Kristen DiMera does. So Johnny brought a gun to the manse, Roman Brady, Josh Taylor gun, and hovered to kill EJ for pressing his mama Sammy into and really for ruining Johnny's life now that he's set up out about it. So that happened the same day EJ was shot and he's going to flash back that enough soon. But like our leaker said, looks like Johnny couldn't pull the detector, left the gun, and stormed out. Also little Rachel Black picked it up and put a pellet in her wicked uncle EJ, if our leaker is correct. Days of Our Lives leaks and insider info. I do feel enough good about the leak, by the way, because I got corrected for publishing that information by the Days of Our Lives press office. So, there's that. May Reaches should be when we see EJ's would-be killer revealed, but little Rachel will presumably get down with it if indeed it's her. My leaker also told me that Kristen confesses to cover her son Rachel and EJ may force her hand since Kristen keeps hanging him. And a before this scenes print of the DiMera siblings, Tony DiMera, EJ, Kristen, and Chad DiMera from a many months back show her in Statesville prison blues. And by the way, there's this sketchy website who heeded to my videotape and decided to write in composition and say it was their leak that came to them. So, if you've seen that website, I just want you to know that they're prevaricators. Days of Our Lives sweeps further DiMera drama. Anyway, still, let's talk about it. Let's be real. Assuming that it's Rachel, obviously Kristen can do the time indeed if she didn't do the crime. She's no foreigner to Statesville. She's been there ahead. She did fine. And EJ may hold his family's bases to the fire to make it be, to put Kristen behind bars. Perhaps he's going to forget that pledge to Belle that he's a new man and he wants to be better, and he's going to just go right back to being a satanic DiMera as usual. John Black's shocking death and emotional burial on Days of Our Lives. Alright, now let's talk about the shocking and sad ending to John Black on Days of Our Lives. In case you didn't know, we've got his burial coming in June. That's when Carrie Brady, Sammy Brady, Will Horton, recast Ariana Horton, and a lot of other people are coming back to Salem. Everyone's gathering to say farewell to John Black, and it's a veritably emotional salutation, kind of retroactively for Drake Hodgson, because we're all seeing this knowing that Drake has passed away, but he was still alive when they mugged all this. Days of Our Lives, John Black's fate. So, yeah, it's kind of it. Watch the look on the actors' faces. This isn't easy, you know, and it's relatively likely that Andrew Donovan reports back to Marlena and Steve by the end of Sweeps that John is indeed dead. And of course, he'll have to tell his fiancée Paul Narita first, who may be with Andrew, when he finds out that John is dead. And Paul will be devastated to lose his father John, as well as John's other son and son being crushed, Belle and Brady Black. But also look for John's death to be a bit mysterious and open concluded, because they wrote it hoping Drake would recover and come back to Days and they would get to revive his character John. Sarah Horton's secret exposed Xander's heartbreak on Days. Alright, the last plot for Sweeps we want to talk about is Sarah and that dirty little secret she's keeping from Xander Cook. Let's face it, Sarah has been extremely fortunate that no bone has busted her out for conspiring with Philip Kiriakis to keep the phony hidden from Xander. And let's be real, Philip, first out, could have thrown Sarah under the machine to diffuse some of the wrathfulness coming his way from his family Xander. And of course, Alex Kiriakis is sick of all the falsehoods, as is Stephanie Johnson. So either of them could have ratted Sarah out, but they didn't do it. And now, of course, Maggie Horton Kiriakis knows, and she's furious, not so much at Sarah, but at Philip. And we all know how important Maggie loves Xander. He's like a son and son-in-law to Maggie, all rolled into one big Scottish package. And speaking of big Scottish packages, Xander is presumably going to be withholding his from Sarah once he finds out about her big fat taradiddle. Days of Our Lives, Xander gets the verity? This week, Maggie gashes into Philip for his treason and dishonesty. And that could be how Xander finds out that Sarah knew. For a Big Joe, Xander is also a sneaky little eavesdropper. One way or another, it seems like May Sweeps is when Sarah's life falls piecemeal and Xander finds out she's been lying to him for a long time. We may see Sarah's heartache because it seems enough likely that Xander is going to leave her and move out, because I mised out he'd protest out Sarah since her mama Maggie is the dame of the manse. So, he'll presumably go. Hopefully, Xander cools down and comes home after he thinks effects over, and specifically all the effects that Sarah has forgiven him for. And that's key. But Xander and Sarah life is going to buckle soon. And Sarah got no bone to condemn but herself. Although, to be fair, she can condemn Philip, because I mean, heck, I would. Days of Our Lives spoilers Wednesday, April 30th. EJ's stunning footage, Paulina slams Johnny, Kayla begs Dr. Russell. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, April 30th, reveal that EJ DiMera will view some stunning footage after Paulina Price slams Johnny DiMera. Kayla Johnson will also supplicate Dr. Jeffrey Russell for help, so then's what Days of Our Lives suckers can anticipate. For starters, Johnny will face a rough morning at the DiMera manse. Chanel Dupree DiMera told Johnny to crash there after he backed out of the relinquishment, but it won't be long until Paulina gets updates on what happened and confronts him. After Paulina supports Chanel in her time of need, she'll make her way to the DiMera manse next. Days spoilers say Paulina will rip into Johnny for breaking Chanel's heart, but she may eventually try to understand his perspective. It wouldn't be fair to the baby if Johnny inked on for this relinquishment, since he's feeling so uncertain about motherhood. This isn't the outgrowth Paulina wants, but she has her own experience giving up a child and may admit the significance of this little one going to the right home. Indeed so, Paulina may have a problem with Johnny getting Chanel's expedients up only to dash them in the end. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Johnny's day will go from bad to worse when EJ comes home from the sanitarium. Since Johnny was awaiting EJ to be released so soon, the surprise could add to the pressure that's brewing. Although EJ will want to make peace with his son, Johnny will refuse to forgive him. Days spoilers say Susan Banks will get caught in the conflict that's about to erupt, so that'll lead to her picking up on some unsettling Johnny vibes. Susan will feel like Johnny's caching commodity Minatory, and formerly EJ looks at the footage from the memory card he swiped from Rafe Hernandez, he'll no doubt agree. It looks like EJ will view footage of Johnny holding him at gunpoint that night, but Johnny couldn't have pulled the detector. That's because EJ removed the memory card before the factual firing passed. Nonetheless, EJ will view some shocking footage and get a memorial about just how angry Johnny was during that battle. Next, Chad DiMera will run into Kat Green and Felicity Green in the city forecourt. Days spoilers say Kat will do commodity that catches Chad off guard in this occasion, so what's it going to be? It's possible this will involve news about Kat's bachelor transaction date or commodity along those lines. Whatever the case, Kat and Chad may struggle with some awkwardness now that they're trying to navigate effects following the fundraiser. Over with Leo Stark, he'll corner Gabby Hernandez and make some allegations. Will Leo point the cutlet at Gabby over the attempt on EJ's life, or could this just be a case of further housemate drama? At the sanitarium, Kayla will deliver a sincere plea to Dr. Jeffrey Russell as she tries to get her hands on the medicine that could save Bo Brady. Russell wouldn't be suitable to help Kayla since the medicine isn't far enough along in product. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Kayla will make some grim prognostications about Bo's fate without this medicine, so Sean Brady will make plans to steal it soon enough. Thanks for watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.